It's the end of the night, and we are not playing the early game.
We go to a place where parents can remove the filters and have real conversations.
It's the hotel lobby.
Welcome back to the hotel lobby. The lobby is not a place, it is an event. Find your people, find your conversation, live that lobby life, living that lobby life tonight. Drew Baressa along with
Chris Kopic.
Justin Torud.
Hey guys, this is the first time in a long time that we have been kingless.
I would say it's the royal we, but it's not.
No. This one, it's going to be tough. However, pull up your seats, get your popcorn ready, get your drink, and let's do this thing.
Well, speaking of the drink, boys, let's have one. We'll pour one out for the king, you know.
Not on the lobby floor, though.
No.
Gladys would not be happy with that.
No. Congratulations on keeping your beer in your can today.
Today.
Thank you.
Well,
The show just started, Drew. It's not over yet.
all right, well, yeah. Give it time. Well, the holidays are over. We had, that stretch of Thanksgiving. You get that little bit of break, and then Christmas and New Year's, and we're done with everything. So,
Isn't it funny how it just flies through? 2 months go by just like that, and here we are into the new year, and now it's going to be that long stretch to get us to spring, summer.
Yeah, for me, it's exciting when the snow falls before January 1st. And after January 1st, it's like,
Stop.
This is terrible. Let's get this over with.
well, I'm ready for palm trees, beaches, and margaritas right now. I'll just settle for margaritas, I guess.
Right?
Well,
That's coming up. I'm getting out of here. I'm going to go to Mexico for a little bit in a few weeks, and excited about that.
it's not a bad way to go about it. That's a good way to spend the cold weather.
Correct.
then-
Kidless, too. Kids stay
Oh my
home. I'm
God.
getting out of here.
Ding, ding, ding.
No kidding. That's an absolute freaking win right there.
That is a win.
It's a good time for everybody except the kids, and that's fine. Mid-February, I'll get my little jaunt off to the desert. So hopefully we get some good weather out there and see how that goes. That's also kidless, but
When you say little jaunt, though, you're gone for a bit, right?
2 weeks. 2 weeks this
that's a
year.
good bit.
It's not terrible.
How many kids and wives are with on this trip?
Zero.
Ding, ding, ding.
Big fat zero on that one. So for Christmas, did anyone get any pretty cool gifts or anything special? Did you get your football?
I did. I do have that picture. I gotta put on the Facebook page and show everybody the football. What is it, from 1985 to 2010?
Well, that's just when we started the list. It's probably been the number one seller since 1907.
And it's funny because I was talking to His Highness, His Royalness, and I used to get those nice Nerf footballs. You know, they came in that real foamy light ones that were crap, or ones that had a tail on it, and it was always a cool football.
Well, when they came out with the Nerf Turbo, the spiral one. Remember that one? Or
You could throw forever.
You could.
You could throw right over that mountain.
and Coach would have put me in. We would have taken state. But you also had the Whistler. There was one that had a plastic whistle thing in there. Those turbos, those were good. But then the crappy ones we had. Does anyone remember the Nerf competitor?
No, I remember the one with the lights you could chuck around at night. But what's the competitor?
Poof. They were poof balls. I mean, it was the same concept. It was foam rubber, basically hotel pillow material.
Oh, really?
Well, I mean, it was the shitty foam that.
Yeah, that sucked. That's what I'm talking about. I hated those.
Yeah.
And just
they had
garbage balls.
They had one great purpose. In a pool, you squeeze it under the water, you let it all soak in, then you heave that at someone's face or something like that.
That 10-pound
Knock 'em out.
football.
Oh my gosh, absolutely! I think that's
just that big old welt on the side of the face.
You get that slow motion Jake Paul jaw relocation.
Oh my God! So there was a piece that I forgot to talk about. Was that Jake Paul getting beat up when he went up against an actual fighter, a younger heavyweight fighter, and he got taken out. I think it was a 6th round. He got KO'd.
So I saw the initial post from him in the hospital with the giant purple ball on the side of his face. So I didn't actually see what happened. And you saw the hit that did it, and you're like, oh my God, that was terrible. And then they slow it down, and it was a cartoon. His jaw relocated. It was in a different zip code for a short period of time. And then it just, that's nuts.
He drives me nuts, but it's one of those guys you just love to hate, and he's doing it right. He's just making a killing getting people to watch him, hate him, love him, whatever. He's doing it right. And he finally fought someone that was young enough to kick the crap out of him, and it was good. It was a good fight to watch.
I feel like that's where it legitimizes it. Legitimizes it?
Yep, Jim.
The fact that he didn't just go cupcakes and rake in money, like he earned that one.
Oh, yeah.
No doubt. I mean,
yeah.
I think he got a little bit more street cred with that fight for sure.
Do you know how much he was making for that? I'm asking. I have no idea.
No idea, but I'm sure he made a good handful.
What is the minimum number you guys would take to take that punch? Knowing you're going to survive, right?
And all the medical bills are covered.
What's the max of the minimum here? Where are we starting this at?
It's your
Whatever. I have a number in my head. Now you got to lock in you don't say it, but you got to lock your number in regardless of what I say.
Well, okay, but hold on, because I'm just saying. I'm willing to take just a couple bucks for a shot.
Hang on. Justin, you got your number locked in?
Yes,
All right,
listeners as well.
Locked in? Are you locked in? You got your number?
Yeah, I'm in.
Okay.
Hold on.
Chris is locked in on this one.
I don't have a pen and paper. He's writing his down.
All right, I do as well.
I got it.
All right, I think I'm good.
And the
Find a spot there.
longer I'm thinking about this, is my number's changing. We should have gone faster.
Mine, I've gone way high. Like I've always told my kids when he's negotiating, go high and let them bring you down. So I've got it.
There's no one here to negotiate. This is just
This
your
is
number.
your number. And so not only that, just keep in mind, the viewership numbers aren't going to be there. So you're not like negotiating with a promoter that's going to be like,
Yeah.
you're worth this.
Yeah.
This isn't what you're worth, because this number has nothing to do with what I'm worth. It's just how much would you take to take that punch?
Yeah. Okay. I put down $5 million. You go ahead and frickin' hit me as hard as you want for $5 million. As long as I'm surviving, and my jaw's going to get back in place eventually.
My brain went to 2 to 3 million, and then I was gonna say 2.5, and then you handed me the paper over, and I wrote 1 million.
Wait,
Sure enough.
you Dr. Evil'd that one.
I
You
did.
just
You were
won
your
$1
own-
million.
All medical bills are covered.
You were your own
I'm
worst
taking
enemy.
one punch.
Yeah, it was tough, but I'm gonna say I agreed with Chris on the $5 million there to take that.
So if it's 4.5, you guys are like, nah, I'm not doing it.
No, that's not what was said. You said lock me in. What we're doing? Yes, I would definitely take 4.5 for sure.
I said, but
you
I said,
could talk me down.
I did say, what's your minimum?
So what is it?
I would. $500? I mean, what do we do?
If we're also saying you have no permanent damage,
Yeah.
after whatever 6 months, you're good to go.
You give me $20,000 to get in a ring with someone. All you got to do is get in a ring, go around with them. Okay, I'll do that.
Yeah, I'd have to have like my house paid for and everything like that. If I could just do that, hey, just cover my debt. I'm not going to say what it is. Just cover my debt and have me start at square zero. I'll be good with that.
How am I gonna fight back for 20 grand? Now I'm going in the fetal, and I'm covering up. $5 million? Screw it. I'm coming out swinging. Let's
ain't-
go, boy.
But the question wasn't the fight. It was to take that punch. You are hands behind the back.
That jaw relocation.
Okay, so now
punch.
it's that slap game.
That's what it was. No. It was just you're taking that exact punch.
Okay, now we're back up to $5 million.
That's what it was to start with.
on the jaw relocation.
Yeah, we're going back up to 5. But to step in a ring for a round or something against someone, I'll do it. Just how do you want me to react?
See, now the question we're not asking right now, well, the person we're not asking is the wives who are upstairs, because I'm sure I would get $20. You can punch him for $20. I'll be fine with that. I can go get
That's what I'm saying.
Go get a nice meal. That'd be great. Not even a nice meal. They wouldn't even care. Get a Happy Meal for shit. Who cares? You know?
6-pack and a pound.
Yeah, exactly. You just Taco John's reference there?
Maybe. So holiday for us, I would say lots of good things. Obviously, spending time with the family. That's king. That's number one. Both sides, Mandy's side, my side, etc. But in terms of like kind of interesting quips, etc. So we've had a PS4 in our house for quite a while. I think our first NHL was NHL 17. So we finally got to the point where we can't get any new games. We have to upgrade to the PS5. So Camden's he's a junior, so he doesn't have a lot of time left for fun things. So we're still getting him the kid gift. We're not getting the responsible gift. So we did that. He got a PS5. So then with that comes the games. With that comes the game. So we finally now can get NCAA football, because you could not get that for the PS4. Haven't played that yet, but he did crack open the NHL 26 today. So we threw it on, have not done the trades for the Wild yet, but they're our team. So we did play one game against Calgary, beat them, no problem. And then the other kind of cool part with it, the PWHL is on there.
Oh, nice.
So for game number 2, we're like, hey, this is kind of new. Let's go check this out. So if anybody's played the game before, they'll pop up headshots. So if there's an offsides or a penalty or a goal or something like that, headshots pop up. So when it's Quinn Hughes or it's Sidney Crosby, you're like, oh, there they are. But now when you're playing PWHL and there's a dad and a 16-year-old sitting there and these female headshots keep popping up on the screen, you're like, oh, this adds a whole different element to this game. This could draw a different audience than they intended on being in it. So, yeah, it's interesting. There's good pictures. There's not as good pictures, etc. But it's kind of interesting.
There's some critiquing going
what's
on.
going to pop up on the screen. So, May Batherson, she's a defenseman for the Frost. Worth checking out. Kind of like Shania Twain, a la 1993, kind of in that range.
Nice.
You think of defenseman, you're like, she's going to have like stitches on her face. No, it's entertaining. It's worth a look.
Is she equally Canadian?
That's a great question. I don't know where she's from.
Also, I'm going to impose a rule here. You are no longer allowed to say etc. without taking a drink.
Dude, I was going to say the same thing. We got a
I
new
think
one.
you're up to 4 of them.
I didn't even notice.
We have a
Okay.
new one. It's 100%.
Yeah,
now
100%.
etc.
We just referenced it. We'll drink anyway, but sure.
100% pure.
Drinks.
But yeah, I think that one, you can have some personal ones here, and that'll be your.
Yeah, he went like almost back to back with etc. etc. I'm like, whoa, JT, what are we doing?
My bad, guys.
No, not at all.
So I'm excited. We got to get the Quinn Hughes trade built in and then start a season. Camden's probably going to have more time to play than I will, but it's fun to jump on and get out the controllers. One crap part is, you got the Nintendo back, then you got 2 controllers. You get the PS5, you got 1 controller, and then you spend another $80 for a second
Oh
one.
my God.
That's how they get you. See, I would have been fine back in the day if they would have done that. Give me 1 controller with my Nintendo. Shit, I ain't any friends. It's fine. I'm playing 1-player games anyway. Doesn't make a difference to me.
So I haven't played these EA games in forever. They've got to be quite awesome now.
It is, and just the advancements from 2017 until we got it now, they'll have like the screenshots are so real. Not only the quality of it, but originally it would be just like at the red line, it would pivot left and right, kind of like a live barn view would be. And now you get shots from the corner, you get shots from in the net, from behind the goalie going out. It's super realistic that way.
Are you able to create your own players?
Yes.
Are you able to, and I'm sure it's coming eventually, put your own pictures into this?
I
Right?
feel like
think
for the NBA, the 2K ones, you can do that.
I just
not
got to imagine
sure.
if it's not there, it's gonna be.
I think they had that with when the Xbox 360 came out. I think they had that with the 2K, like
Was
you
it?
were saying, yeah. And with the EA Sports, I think that's the biggest problem is when you had like EA paid for the exclusive rights for NFL, when it's just Madden now, because now they can just recycle and turn over new crap, and it's just here's the new rosters and maybe 1 new feature, but they don't even have to make an improvement because it's a monopoly. They just own that. Because what was great when 2K, so like ESPN 2K5, I think it was, or 2005, had competitors for all the sports. They had NFL, NBA, NCAA basketball, NCAA football, and all this stuff, and they were like their selling point was $20. So everyone would, and it came out a week before Madden, so they just took over, and it was a really fun game, and they had all these cool things. And the very next year, nope, EA bought up the rights. You can't have that anymore. So kind of like that. So the cool thing I got for Christmas, I got from the wife. It was fantastic, and this is something we talked about, so this worked out pretty cool. I got maps of all the leagues for NHL and for MLB. Scratch off every stadium you've been to, and I think that
that's
was
cool.
really cool. I definitely have work to do on the NHL side. I've been to 5 arenas, so I got
More than me.
a lot of work to do.
It's been, my dad and I did go on a baseball week-long trip at one point. When I got back, Camden wanted to go on that, obviously, and we're like, sorry, this was not cheap. This was a dad and I thing. But then he said, I want to do the NHL one. So, I mean, you could go hit the New Jersey Devils, the Islanders, the Rangers. The East Coast
Philly.
is pretty quick.
Philly, yeah, right there.
And I think on last week's episode, I even said, I want to go Canada, go Western. It's a lot further to go between Edmonton, Calgary, Vancouver. But I think it'd be so fun to do.
Yeah, I agree. That would be kind of a neat trip to start hitting a bunch of the whatever, NHL, football, baseball, whatever. And I think that'd be a really cool deal. I know a lot of people that do that, baseball ones, football, NHL. I think that would be a cool family, whomever, your kids, whoever. But I think that would be a really cool trip.
I think that'd be cool. Like you said, it was you and your dad for the baseball one. But if you took Cam on a hockey one, that's a pretty cool memory right there.
I even looked. Maybe the hotel lobby can start this, but with baseball tours, there's 162 games, so there's several companies that do it, and you're like, we can go this week to this week, and do you want to go East Coast or West Coast or Texas, or what do you want to do? I cannot find one for hockey.
I think any of them I think baseball obviously is the easiest because of the amount of games, so I think having that is really, it's much easier to do, and with all those central locations like that, where if you go to the East Coast, out of those like 7 teams or whatever that are within a relative driving space, someone's going to be home.
Yes. The other caveat to this is it was just flashing through my brain that in 4 years when Kinsley's out of high school, we're going to have a hotel lobby hockey company that does this. But then the next thought that just hit my brain is how busy we are as hockey parents right now, and they're playing in the winter as opposed to summertime when people are doing more of their trips. Like, have kids that are playing hockey are going to have time to take a week in the winter to go on trips like that?
Yeah, I feel that I think 4 years, I think we can probably do this in 3, but I think 4 years should be our goal, that we should have a hotel lobby like Madden Cruiser.
Oh, that'd be nice, buddy.
Did Quick Trip sponsor us yet?
Who reached out? I think that was you.
We can only travel to like 3 states though. If we can. We just have to get gas from somewhere, I guess. But that'd be a way to go.
Hey, so as we were talking, I was writing down a couple of notes, and we had etc. over here. Now, out there, our listeners, who we all must have certain things that we say that people are like, oh my God, he said it again. So if you're out there listening, go ahead and fire off or let us know who says what. I mean, I know 100% is obviously one, literally, etc. I'm sure we all have our fun little quips that we say often.
So next year, the 2026 top-selling Christmas gift will be the hotel lobby drinking game. And here's the cards you play. I think that'd be a good
Fantastic.
one. Yeah, it'd be a good way to go.
And then another thing that you guys are saying, we were talking about Madden for a little bit, was did you see the Madden movie that's going to be coming out, I believe, next Christmas time with Nicolas Cage playing John Madden?
I did not.
I have seen it. I don't know, some social media somewhere. I did see it come through. I do know they have the video game documentary out as well.
Oh, really? Okay.
I was on a plane. I watched one episode of it. Didn't get to the rest of it, but that will be a big following. And, the Packer fans have huge following. You think of the Cowboys, but I think the Raiders do too, even though they've moved around so much. Maybe they do because they've moved around so much. I don't know.
That's Raider Nation, by the way.
True.
We'll get to that in just a second. So other things we got going on. Obviously, we're talking about the NFL. NFL and NCAA football, you got their playoffs going on right now or just kicking off for NFL and NCAA, which is pretty cool. And speaking of NFL, we got some Did You Knows.
I do. I was jotting down some Did You Knows for the NFL, but the first one I wanted to hit up before I get to my actual Did You Knows, I want to know what your guys' thoughts was that whole Metcalf situation a few weeks back when he reached up, took a swing at it. I'm not sure he even connected with that Lions fan. Did you see that? What do you think? He got suspended 2 games. Thoughts? And I know we've done that how to act in stadiums before. I mean,
sure, but it was fan-to-fan interaction that we talked about before. You're getting those. This is a simple part of your job is to not go and punch someone in the face. I think he just kind of pushed on the face. I mean, he wasn't like a punch or whatever, but
he took a swipe. I don't know if he connected.
Well, I think it was just kind of like one of the open palm kind of deal. But even if you got to be better than that. You know your job is going to get scrutiny where you're going to get chirped at quite a bit, and you got to know not to do that. I think that's easy enough, and I mean, I think it's justified because you have to set precedent at some point. The NFL's got to set precedent, like, hey, this is what's going to happen if you do this kind of deal.
I have a take for both sides, but Justin, I want to hear what you got.
So the whole media was going to be that he just called him by his birth certificate name. That's the story on what got him mad. I don't believe that line of crap for a second. I guarantee there was more than one thing said that was more than his given name. So that's thing one. Thing two is, though, you're in that position. You're going to be a target. So you need to have more self-control than you do. But the other part is, even for these teams, I guarantee any professional sports team, you're going to take the coaches and you're going to go player 1 through whatever the bottom of the list is. Who's most likely to do something not brilliant? And every team's going to have them. It's worth your money to pay some dude.
By him.
Pay some dude whatever number we want to say.
I do it for $5 million. Just saying.
Write it down.
Okay, you want me to go stand on the sideline in an NFL game for $200, and I'm just going to watch these 5 guys who are most likely to do something dumb? I'm in. So that's also bad on these NFL teams. You know what guys are going to do these kinds of things.
So I think they're both in the wrong, right? The NFL has to be better. Coming down on DK is cool. That's fine. I don't have a problem with that if there was attacking a fan like that. However, the NFL and or the stadium or whoever needs to be better. Get the fan away. That we love to have that fan interaction, but you have drunk fans, the overzealous fans that do this. That shouldn't be able to happen either.
Well, you get so many fans that think they're entitled to it because
Correct.
You're and the thing is, that could have happened like this, where you don't have security standing next to that fan at the time, where it could have happened so fast that it's not necessarily their fault. But I believe the NFL's already stepped in, as well as Detroit, being like their season tickets are gone.
Oh, is it? Oh, okay.
I believe so. I mean, I know that's happened before.
I don't know, because I know this guy he has a lawyer. He's lawyered up, and he's been on some talk shows now. And I didn't know what has happened to him. I just something needs to be done on the fan side. I don't know what. I don't have the answer, but they're both in the wrong.
And I think that's definitely happened before. So I know there was 2 instances in Major League Baseball this past year where there was a person for the New York Mets, a fan for the New York Mets, that was talking to one of the Arizona Diamondbacks and was saying some horrible things about their family. And the player lost it and was trying to jump into the crowd and all this stuff. And when you kind of hear what they were saying, it's like, yeah, I think I would too. And the league I don't think they did much to him. And then the Mets have pulled the season tickets from that. And that person is not allowed in the stadium.
Especially with technology today, you can
facial recognition stuff.
Yeah, you should be able to and hear or figure everything out. That these people that are doing that, they got to go. You said it, entitled. You're not entitled to act and talk the way you are to these players.
Yeah, well, I think fans in the stands at sport and major sporting events where they kind of feel like they look at the athletes as if it's you are there for my entertainment, and that you're just my little whatever to entertain. So I think they have the same entitlement that people do behind keyboards on social media. It's the same kind of mentality. Be like, I'm protected because of this invisible wall. Yeah. Well, guess what? Invisible wall will make a difference if someone's swinging at you and it's right there. And you got to know, like, there it does fall on both. You can't be that stupid of a fan.
I'm not opposed to people. Oh, you suck, Justin. You're terrible. That's fine. You start getting personal and call them XYZ, getting into the family stuff. And or reaching over and touching. The line is drawn.
There's fun ways to do it. You hear some of the chirps online.
Yeah,
that people
there's
post,
good stuff.
You've seen stuff where it's even the
funny.
players
It's
kind of
comical.
stop and laugh. That to me is what's the best. When you can chirp, you kind of get in their heads a little bit, but it's not like. It's not,
personal.
Horrible. Yeah,
it's not
personal. Like there was a good friend back in the day when we were at my buddies were all at St. Norbert. We were watching the hockey players, and they were playing against where the hell were they playing? I think it was Eau Claire. Their goalie, and some dude just started. He had like a list of chirps, and he was so good. He's like, "Oh, you're from Minnesota, 10,000 lakes, and you couldn't fucking find one to practice on," like shit like that. And even the goalie turns around, he's laughing. I mean, that to me is more fun. where it's
Right. And so, and then as you were just saying, it brings me to, okay, all of this, I said all this except for, let's talk about, Shorzy. Let her rip, boys. That's so good. Listen to some Shorzy chirps. I think that's more player on player or player on rip. And it's funny stuff. Anyway, so that was just my DK Metcalf piece. Now to the did you knows. Did you know the Jaguars, Jacksonville Jaguars, are the only team without a tie in the NFL history? Did you know?
I mean, it makes sense. They, started in 95.
That's quite some time already.
Between
20-ish years.
Well, it is, but I mean, between them, the Panthers and the Texans, I think, are the last 3 expansions. So I guess.
Yeah, I
did not
guess it
know.
doesn't surprise me. I don't know. I'm not a fan of the ties, but I won't get into that whole thing.
Did you know? And this one is relatively. It's did not happen that far back. As Tampa Bay is the only team to host and play in the Super Bowl.
In their
same
home
year.
stadium.
Correct.
Is that what you're saying? Yeah.
Yes, hosted and played it. That I believe that was a Tom Brady year.
That was yeah.
Why do I feel like this is a Miami Dolphins kind of chirp situation here?
No, it's not. It just those 2 Florida teams just happen to be 2 that I
Because
brought.
Miami hosts a lot of them, don't
but they've never played in it. No,
They need another Dan Marino.
they do need another.
Who's the Pittsburgh quarterback this year? They got to get him.
He was a freshman. I saw their bowl game. He looked scared. He was panicking out there. But I will say this makes a lot of sense now that you've brought that up. When was the last time the Dolphins were in a Super Bowl?
That would have been against the Niners.
1984. What was the following year? What was the number 1 selling gift at Christmas?
Dolphins,
NFL.
Zubas.
The football is now. It was 85 where that took over. In 84 when they were in the Super Bowl, that's why. And
The Nerf.
yeah, there you go.
So, go ahead.
I'm having a nerd moment. Just let me riff for a second. I did have Miami Dolphins Zubas. You've talked about Zubas before.
Yep.
My number in football was number 13. Can you wonder why?
Chris Jackie.
I like it, buddy.
It was Dan Marino.
That is a nice. Did you know?
Yeah. Okay. Sorry.
Did you know about Justin
back
Tucker?
on
Sorry
track.
for nothing. That was great.
No, that
Sorry.
was good. I like that. Did you know? Or actually, this is a question. Answer.
Did you know is always a question. Continue.
Which NFC team? NFL team, not NFC. NFL team was inspired by a kitchen appliance brand. Do you know?
Which NFL team?
NFL.
William Refrigerator Perry.
No, the team.
The entire team.
Correct.
I have heard this before.
This
and
one
it's
I never
not-
knew.
It's not Ken Moore. You're gonna say
Okay,
I have
Cincinnati
heard this.
Bengals, guys. It's the Bengals.
Because what, Black & Decker with the black and orange? What was this?
I just briefly read up on it, and it just said because of the brand, the appliance brand, it was the Bengals.
Thank you for that
do
half
not
stat
know.
you brought to us today.
Listen, I don't. I just bring the. Did you know? Did you?
No.
Okay, so we're gonna junior admirals. I think the admirals are actually named after a refrigerator brand from back in the day. We will research, but I swear I heard this on the radio.
I do not know that one either. We'll have to look that one up.
Yep.
I assume that there was a hockey team coming to Milwaukee and they were trying to get a sponsor from a rum company, and Captain Morgan wasn't doing it, but Admiral Nelson stepped right up, which is good because their fallback was Sailor Jerry.
Yep. Okay, boys, moving on. Next one is, which team was the first team to feature a logo on their helmet?
First NFL team to feature a logo on the helmet.
Correct.
Niners.
Justin?
No idea.
It's got to be an old team. I think of the Packers and Bears, and they had the leather helmets, so there was nothing there. So it was probably as soon as the plastic helmets started coming around. I'm gonna guess this was around, I don't know, the 50s, and teams in the 50s. Not the Browns, because they still don't have one. I'm gonna guess the Patriots.
No. It was and I don't know where they were located at the time, Rams. St. Louis, maybe?
The Horns was
Yeah.
their official. Well, they would have been. Man, where were they before L.A.? That's a great question. I don't know, but anyway, so just the horn being their logo.
I'm not sure of the logo, but they were the first one with a logo.
I believe that when they first painted the horns on, they might have still been like leather helmets, and they just kind of used the design of it. That's like Michigan's Michigan Wolverines, the wings on there, that's just the design of what those leather helmets were. They just painted it gold to stand out more. So,
And my last did you know for the NFL is the Walter Payton Man of the Year award. Did you know?
named after Walter Payton.
Correct.
Sweetness.
Correct again. Did you know that each player that gets nominated gets a sticker on their helmet, the Walter Payton and the cape that I know everybody's seen it. If you win the award, you get the patch on the jersey. Also, did you know, follow up, is if you continue playing in the NFL and you have won this award, you always get that patch year after year, regardless, after you have already won it.
Well, that's good to know because I have seen. I think like Dak Prescott has. I've seen a few that have it on the jersey.
As they continue to play, they continue to have it.
That one I did know. Russell Wilson, J.J. Watt. I guess not coincidental. They're Wisconsin Badgers formerly, but they had both won it previous, and I know they always had them on their jerseys.
Yeah, they continue to wear it through the years. So there it is. There's your NFL Did You Know?
Thank you, Mr. Chris.
Yeah, the answer is no, I didn't because I was pretty terrible at all those. All right, and we're going to jump into a little bit of our athletes of the week, and it is athletes plural, as we are going for the Amos family from the great city of Waupaca, known for its shuffling. Angie and Michael Amos and their children, youngest Henry and Hazel, both playing for the Waupaca Mites or the Rink Rats,
Rink
as
Rats.
we've been told. Violet, who is on the 14A Freeze team with our daughters, and of course John, who is on the Junior Guardians. So, way to go, athletes of the week, the Amos family.
And Mike also wrote it, and I'm going to say it the way Violet plays for the Fox River Freeze.
He's not wrong. He's not wrong. And she's had a pretty damn good year this year so far. She's right place at the right time a lot. She's got quite a few goals just hanging out in front of that net and putting things back home, and she's been doing pretty well.
Nice.
Johnny as well, I would shout out. Man of many haircuts. I got to see him a lot this summer because Violet also played lacrosse with Kinsley. So I got to ride with Amos's in a car for a really long time to Cincinnati this summer and then back again. But Johnny, a man of a mullet all last winter, and then cut the mullet off, went to the flop top perm up on top. He's a man of many styles.
I like that.
Was he rocking some Soul Glow?
I don't know about that, but he did have the Viper sunglasses on as well. So he's a man he's a pretty confident young man.
I know a few years back we went to that Green Bay Blizzard game on St. Patrick's Day, and he ripped his shirt off, and he was whipping his shirt off around there trying to get the Blizzard to rally. Right as some of our good friends, it was dollar beer night on the Green Beers. If anyone was, I remember who was all there for that one. We spilled a lot of dollar beers. And now Resch Center employee Ryan Cunoff probably spilled about $7 worth of beer, which sounds like one beer normally, but on dollar beer night,
That'd be $7.
A little bit different.
So what do we got next, buddy?
We are on to our poll names. All right, Chris, what do you got for us here?
So we've been talking about naming our listeners, and I've just been dropping Lobby Nation here and there, but we came up with six names. We asked the listeners what they thought, and our guy up in Eagle River, Jason Scarda, he dropped Lobby Nation. He liked it. I did not write down what his reasoning was. I believe it was because Nation, is multiple people, and lobbyist, I think, is what he was against. He was maybe going against. It was not. He didn't feel it. He wants Lobby Nation. Anyway, so the six names that we came up with,
The finalists
that we broke down, and we did put Lobby Nation because our guy up there in Eagle River said, Jason Scarda said Lobby Nation. We took it. We have Society, the Hotel Lobby Society. The Lobs, just the Lobs. I kind of like it. That one's a little catchy. The Nation. The Lobby Syndicate. The Syndicate's pretty tough.
I think of trench coats and just tough dudes. Al Capone.
I was going to say, there's definitely
Syndicate?
some mafia
That top
indications
hat
there.
type of just badass looking. Just who are you looking at? Who are you looking at?
What gangster movies have you watched where they're rocking top hats, dude?
Abraham Lincoln was pretty.
Monopoly? Is that that guy, Mr. Moneybags?
Did he or did he not have a monocle?
I do not know.
Peaky Blinders, they didn't. Did they have top hats?
No, they had those
derby hats.
Yes, the derby hats. Those are sweet. And then the loungers, and maybe that was what Scarda was against the loungers. I'm not sure. And then the last one is the Hotel Lobby Coalition.
all good options. So we're going to have a poll out there. Vote for yours. If you have a write-in, you got to get a lot of support because these are our 6. So if you can, yeah.
You better have a good reason to break into the top 6 now. You had your chance. But thank you, Jason Scarda.
Absolutely. Super fan Jason Scarda.
Super fan Jason Scarda.
All right, now we are into the new year, 2026. So you figure you have a lot of firsts as things are fresh in the new year. So I got it. This will be a kind of a quick thing for us to go through a list of firsts in your life. And I know some of these we have talked about over.
This is the worst.
I'm so glad Mark's not here for this one.
Yeah, I was pretty selective on what I chose here, though. But I am kind of curious in this one. I know we've talked about this, so you can think about yours while we give your answer. JT, your first car. I know we've talked about it. Go ahead.
1987 Pontiac 6000. We call it the Excitement. You're driving Excitement.
Very good, Chris.
I had a Mercury Monarch. Do you know what that is?
I do. What year?
79.
Nice.
8-track player.
Nice.
It came with the Eagles, maybe Fleetwood Mac 8-tracks in the glove compartment. I opened it, I was like, ooh, bonus for me.
Was it two-tone?
Yeah, it was. And it had the white wall tires. I mean, I was styling, man. It was great.
That's a good look. Especially just driving down Tomahawk. That's nice way to be. For me, it was a 1991 Cutlass Sierra. There was, we had quite the group of friends. We all had Cutlasses, and we actually had a race one day, a race of Cutlasses. We had, 3 of us had Sierras, which were like the sedans, and then 2 of them had the Cruisers, which were we all called the grocery getters, the little station wagons with the hatchback. And then one of our good friends had actually mentioned last week, Corey Van Kallenberg, his son now played in UWGB. He had a Cutlass Cruiser, or I'm sorry, not the Cruiser, the Classic, which was like a very nicer car that he put a lot of money into. He put his name and phone number with stickers on the windshield. This garnered him 0 dates, by the way.
Was it the Cutlass Supreme that had 2 doors? Mike Torud had a 2-tone blue, baby blue, and more of a probably royal blue 2-door Cutlass Supreme. I swear.
Yeah, I think it was the same. I don't remember. I'm not a car guy, so I couldn't tell you the difference between the Supreme and the Classic, but I think they were quite...
Once again, a Gunner reference. Where are you when we need you?
Unbelievable. All right, so first concert, what do you got?
Two popped to mind right away. Right away, I was going to say Aerosmith. That was the first. Why my parents let 3 high school boys go to Minneapolis to the Target Center to see Aerosmith when we were 16. I have no idea why they let us do that. No cell phones. Sure, boys, go ahead.
Have fun.
So that's the first one that popped into my head. But the first actual concert was John Michael Montgomery, the Minnesota State Fair, probably around 91 or 92. JMM. Just retired. Just had his last concert at Rupp Arena in Kentucky. It's a sad day. A little tear.
It was. A single tear for that. I mean, go with the Aerosmith. That's much better. That's
I
much better. Because I like the story of the 16-year-olds driving off on their own versus going to a state fair. See, like, I'm going to go county fair for mine. And it was one of our good friends, Sammy, the Bodines, Kewaunee County Fair. And I remember who it was. It was either Ashley or somebody that was previously on here said that was also, they were there for that same concert.
It may have been Ashley, right? Mine was, and I'm gonna split this up 2 because one was a county fair, a town fair out in Wausau, Wisconsin. The REO Speedwagon, going there, and I think Morks, that might have been Morks too.
I know, like I said, I know some of these we've mentioned before, but
and then my actual big concert was in Alpine. Went to see Heart.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah, so that's my split.
Very nice. First vacation you remember?
It would have been a trip to Florida, driving with my mom. We went down there, and we have some relatives there. Just drive down to Florida to visit, to hang out. I didn't go a lot on vacations when I was younger, as a Ute.
Same seas. We definitely did not. Our family was not much for a lot of things. Talking, interactions, family meals. We didn't do any of that. We never had vacations. We went to
family meals.
Yeah, we went to St. Louis. We went to St. Louis like in 1986. It's St. Louis. Here's an arch. There's a river. Fucking have at it. What do you got?
First one I remember was Mike Torud's 1983 Chevrolet Silverado pickup, 2-tone, tan down the middle, and then the top and bottom was more of a dark milk chocolate brown. And we road tripped out to Niagara Falls, stopped at Canton, Ohio at the Football Hall of Fame.
Oh, nice.
And it was early in the 80s, so in the back of that pickup truck was a mattress. I'm 4 or 5 years old. Mom and I hung out in the back. Dad drove. There was a little crawl-through window.
Back in the good old days where you could do all those things.
Oh, absolutely.
Seat belts were non-existent.
Right.
You know what? All 3 of us survived. We made it. We're here.
Isn't that funny? There's always the stories. I was able to survive as a kid doing this, drinking from the water hose, driving without a seatbelt. Is it safer? Sure. But we remember the good old days.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, JT, starting with you on this one. What was the first sport you played? This is a twofer. First sport you played and first sport you attended.
Like organized played?
Correct.
Yeah.
Not backyard.
Well, that was probably T-ball at Cinder City's Park off 10th Street in Altoona.
Nice.
Little T-ball coached by the high school kids. There was back in the day when everybody had the knee-high tube socks and all the coaches had the short shorts. It was phenomenal. So that was
As the
one.
current coach of our hockey team, are you going to bring those back? I feel that that could be good attire on the ice. That'd be fine.
I feel like if I was coaching 14-year-old boys, I'd probably be more willing to do that. I got to give a shout out. Colin's dad at T-ball, I remember he would show up, had a whole game with a piece of macaroni stuck to his T-shirt hanging on the top of his belly. I still remember that. We're easily going on 40 years now. So Colin's dad,
we didn't want to mention that to him, huh?
I was 6. I don't know. I didn't.
All right. Well, hey, that's fine.
I still remember it.
What was your first major sport you attended? First game?
I was at Brett Favre's game when Mikowski got hurt against the Bengals in '92, and Tim Krumroy was at the bottom of the pile twisting on his ankle. Brett Favre comes in, makes his debut with the Packers. Long touchdown to our end zone to Kittrick Taylor.
That's a pretty big game to be
I
at.
still have the ticket stub.
Wow.
And I was at Favre's last game, NFC Championship against the Giants.
How cold was that one, honestly?
I was old enough at that point to drink Miller Genuine Draft, and it froze real quick. Even if you were trying to drink as fast as you could, it would freeze before you got to the bottom.
That one was brutal. And don't worry, they made it quick. They went into overtime for you.
Yeah, and then it was an interception, also in our end zone.
Frickin' Webster. Dude, the fact that Favre, did you see in the wire cam for that where 5 guys were wide stinking open, but he tried to force it in a driver because he was his only receiver all night? You dump that off to frickin' whoever the hell, Ryan Grant. He gets 25 yards and a first down. Everyone else is open, regardless. Whatever. Mine would have been a Milwaukee Bucks game in 1988. I think it was the first year of the Bradley Center, and we were like in the last row, and it was terrifying looking down and and no reason why I remember this. They beat the Cleveland Cavaliers 112 to 100 in the first game I was at for the Milwaukee Bucks there in 1988.
Who would have been our Buck stud at that point?
Brad Lohaus. No, I think they still had Jack Sikma that came over from Seattle. I mean, he was in the twilight of his career, but he was still, doing his thing. Fred Roberts, Alvin Robertson, Eric Murdoch might have been a young buck, we'll say, on that team. Maybe I don't think he was around until maybe 91, so I don't think maybe he wasn't there yet. But, there was a lot of good guys. Greg Cadillac Anderson. I don't want to get into the...
I've known 2 names you've just listed off so far.
Yeah.
He just went down through the entire roster. I'm like, huh?
Yeah, well, I don't really remember the game too much. But anyway, what do you got, Chris?
Would have been Little League Baseball.
Mine would have been T-ball as well. Moving on.
As Mark would make fun, I'm wearing my jeans, going out there, and there was one of my first games. A young Tomahawk Townie was up. He was brought in to pitch, and I took him yard. That young man is Jamie Mork.
Did you guys have fences, or was it just the hit as far as you go?
We had a snow fence.
We had that in my high school. Don't worry about it. We had it in my high school.
And it was over the fence or inside the park, or because you were quick?
It was inside the park. Now this is all bullshit. I really didn't. Mork didn't pitch. I just wanted to throw that out there.
It was believable.
He's not here to defend himself.
Right, I know.
Story checks out in my book.
I can't do that. Someone will fact check. Someone's going to snope me. Anyway, the first
Have we been fact checked on anything we've done? I don't know quite yet.
he's going to snope the Nokomis Cougars in 1987. So it would have been a Brewers game at the County Stadium in the mid 80s. No clue. Don't remember much about it.
Gotcha. Now we got a fun one. First celebrity crush.
I don't. Boy. I don't remember my first celebrity crush.
Was it Betty Boop?
No. Start with JT. Give me a moment. He knows. He's got
Okay,
his.
we've all had our moments, right? You get to be 45, almost 46. You've had several celebrity crushes over the decades. The first thing popped into my head was Reese Witherspoon.
Nice.
Before that, it was Kathy Ireland. And then, as Chris was over here pondering, we've talked about her on this show before. Karate Kid, 1986. Elizabeth Shue was it. Yep, for sure.
So, and in the same sense, because of that same night, we talked about Elizabeth Shue, because it was the two things that I remembered, which was Adventures in Babysitting, started Elizabeth Shue, and of course, my first celebrity crush, Kelly Kapowski on Saved by the Bell. Tiffany Thiessen.
So as we sat here and thought, it popped in my head. Star Wars. Princess Leia. I remember back in the holy crap was she smoking hot.
That's fair. And George Lucas, whatever, when he flat out wouldn't let her wear a bra because they're not going to have bras in space.
Yeah.
Thank you, George. So anyway, speaking of celebrities, do you have any major celebrity interactions that you are, whether it's sports related, athletes, or just an actual celebrity? I'll start with this so you guys can think a little bit. So working in TV for years, working in TV stations where morning shows where you had a bunch of guests in, as many as I can come up with, I'm going to say the most fun one, Gavin McLeod. If anyone doesn't know, he was Captain Steubing on Love Boat.
Oh, nice. That's really cool. How did that work out? I mean, how did that become?
Well, it was a morning show talk show, and he was in Minneapolis for whatever reason. I was working in St. Paul at the time.
So it was just a happen chance he came on.
Yeah. And
it wasn't a over and over repeatable thing.
No. This was a one-time thing. I mean, I can obviously list off a bunch. I'll list off a couple of sports ones while you guys are pondering a little bit here.
I've got it.
Oh, so working in Green Bay. So we did a show called Inside the Huddle with Donald Driver as the host. Brett Favre was on. He sat on my hand because I was adjusting his microphone. I went to go slide it under him, and I said, hang on there a second. And he just sat down, and I was stuck with my hand, palm down, stuck here. And all of a sudden I'm looking around, and there's like 1,500 people inside the bar that I think the fire code was probably like 900. And there was people like lined up in the balcony, up the stairs, everywhere. And I'm just sitting here looking around, and he's sitting on my hand. And I kind of did the old slide it out real quick. And he looked back at me, and I'm just like, we're good, and walked away. And very famously, former Packer, number 87, Robert Brooks, pushed me in the urinal once.
That's not a good interaction,
No,
buddy.
it was at the TV station, and he did that, and he was laughing. I turned around, he goes, I bet you didn't expect anyone to be pushing you in the urinal, especially a Packer. I said, no. He goes, yeah, and no one's going to believe it. And then he just walked out of the room. There you go.
All right.
So who's got next?
Here you go.
Guys, mine's super easy. We had him on the show. 33. The Heisman Trophy winner. The
Tony
only
Dorsett,
living,
your favorite number 33.
the only living Heisman for Wisconsin, Ronnie Dane. He's getting to know him a little bit more. He's been to my house for Easter, hanging out. He's becoming a decent friend.
So JT, I assume Ron Dane was also wait, were you not there? Maybe you weren't there for that?
No, I
interaction?
was not here for that episode. We have to do another. It's got to be a part 2.
How was Eric Church?
I was at an Eric Church concert while Ron was here. Tickets were already in. Eric Church was booked before Ron was booked.
We're not blaming you. We totally understand.
I hear Eric Church is an awesome concert too.
Yeah, we've seen him a bunch of times. He is a good concert. My real quick, I'll do mine. I was at a comedy club in Las Vegas. It was right after Randa Cunningham retired. The comedian knew him or saw him before the show, and he had to shout him out. And I did have to be that guy. I was like, I have to shake his hand. I won't annoy him more than that, but I have to shake his hand. So I did go over and shake Randall Cunningham's hand. The other one that comes to brain, brain comes to brain.
I got you, etc.
Etc. I worked at the Kohl Center when I was in college. Worked in suite services, so we were down below by the kitchen. Billy Joel and Elton John were performing. You're not supposed to talk to the entertainment at all, but Elton John was walking past me like 3 feet away, and I just had to say, "Great show, Elton," and he said, "Thank you."
That's not how he said
That was
it.
it.
Say it like he would say.
I can't say it like I'm from Britain, but that was a true story.
That's a good one. And
That's pretty cool.
And I know like most of those venues are very much don't talk to the talent and all that stuff, but something like that, come on. What's wrong with that? Just a little.
He was 3 feet away. Not many people were around. It wasn't obvious. I didn't bother him. I said, "Good show."
Yeah, I think that's all good. So speaking of former quarterbacks, I was very proud to introduce Warren Moon to cheese curds.
That's pretty cool
I
too.
introduced
Warren
Warren
Moon's
Moon
awesome.
to
I like
fried
Warren Moon.
cheese curds, where this was at Lambeau and I was working there, and he came up before the game. We were in the line for
As an Oiler.
well, yes, but he was doing commentary for Seattle.
Oh, he was all done.
Oh yeah. And then I wasn't on the field being like, dude, try these cheese curds, it's fucking great. I mean, he's not wrong, and he was getting in line in the whatever the lunchroom or whatever, and the guy in front of me is like, who's that guy behind you talking to? Now I will say he shaved his mustache off, so it was wasn't the most obvious, and I was like, "What's Warren Moon?" He's like, "Are you serious?" I'm like, "Yeah." And he goes, "Hey, what's with this menu here?" I'm like, "Oh, just wait. Like, this is okay, but come back at halftime. They'll have brats and cheese curds." "Well, what are cheese curds?" I'm like, "Well, sit down. I got a story for you." Just went into what cheese curds are. He's like, "All right, I'm going to check it out." At halftime, I had to run to the bathroom, so I go running through. I look over, and this dude goes, "Hey," gives me a big thumbs up. "Cheese curds are great." I'm like, "Oh, that was my Warren Moon interaction there."
That's pretty cool.
That was pretty good. So that was the end of my firsts I have, and it's been a hot minute, but you know what we need to do?
Down the hatch, boys.
We need to have some shoots here because we completely neglected that off the top. Wow. You can try that again. There you go. So it is time. It's one of our intermissions here. It's not the first.
Not the first or
it's
the
not
second.
The second. This happens to be our third intermission. What do we got?
Boys, we're heading in the third intermission one more time. And in the third intermission, we're going to bring in, it's time for the penalty box playoffs. We've got a bracket of the full absolute losers. And only the worst of the worst will hoist a cup of cringe. And I'm talking about these things that everyone's done or has had happen to them. And it's one of those irritating things. For round one, it's going to be the pinky toe power play. Catching your smallest toe on the corner of a heavy wooden coffee table or something in the dark as you're walking. Versus the pizza roof burn. Taking a bite of that pizza. You can't wait to let it cool down. You got to get in there and grab that first bite. The slice is roughly the temperature of the sun. You take it and you burn the top of your mouth. Losing the skin on the roof of your mouth for about 3 days-ish. What's worse?
The toe. There's nothing positive coming out of the toe. At least when I burn my mouth, there's a good, deliciously smelling pepperoni pizza under my nose that I'm about to devour. So there's a positive there. There's no positive to smashing your foot on a coffee table.
And how many swear words can you drop when you jam your toe like that?
Especially when it's like 5 a.m. and you got to get up to go and you smash it and the F-bomb comes out and your wife wakes up like, what happened? What happened?
And it's not a quick one. It's
smash
just,
my foot.
It's that one from like the Christmas Story. It goes on for like a minute.
I'm going to disagree. And the reason why, I think at point of impact, I agree with you. But the fact is that pizza burn lingers for days.
It's the worst.
I think that lingers for a longer time. I think your pinky theoretically recovers in a shorter amount of time.
If you didn't break it, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is the worst. And then you could just feel it. You're like, son of a bitch, that's going to be bubbling and peeling.
So
and
worse to you is the pizza?
I didn't. I did pick pizza. But I was just kind of waiting to see what you guys were going to say.
But like I said, at point of attack, that toe is one of the all-time worst. I very much agree with that. But I think it's the long-term The pizza is the problem.
Going on to the next piece of the bracket, we are this battle is the delay of game to division. The TSA Tango boys being stuck behind a person in the security line who seems genuinely surprised they have to take off their belt, shoes, and a gold suit of armor. I mean, irritating, right? This one will be taking on the infinite update. Your laptop starts the mandatory 20-minute update. Update exactly when you have 2 minutes before the Zoom meeting. You're like, oh crap, now what? What's worse?
To me, it's the update, and here's why. There was a very famous, and people that I work with will know this one. Let's just say it was a sporting event, and our laptop, or our PC controlled the scoreboard. And we had the ownership group and a whole lot of sponsors in town, and it went to a Microsoft update right before first pitch, and the screen went black for 30 minutes. So to me, that is way worse.
That's a good reason.
I mean, the TSA, it's got its moments where this past year I was flying out to Philly at like 4 in the morning, 4:30 in the morning, super early. And
it's only one security line.
This
I'm
is
sure,
out of
to get
Appleton.
through. Yeah.
So yeah, super small, right? And I have the TSA pre-check and all this stuff. And Heidi was flying out as well. She didn't have pre-check, so I'm just like, oh, I'm already in the front of the line. That's 4:30. So
Yeah.
she was 2 people behind. So it's not a big deal. And then all of a sudden, I get a thing handed to me, and I was like, what's this? You've been pre-selected or randomly selected for extra checking. And I'm like, what the hell is this about? So I'm like, all right, whatever. I step off to the side, and also I look, and the TSA agent's like one of my buddies I used to coach football with. I'm like, you motherfucker. This wasn't random. He's just like, check them. I'm like,
Oh
all
my
right.
God.
But the update for me.
Update.
Yeah.
JT?
Update. I had to join a work call yesterday, and I was in the car. Mandy was driving. I had to jump on the work call, and I'm trying to get onto my phone to get on the work call. Nope. Stuck. Frozen. You're not going to be on time. You're going to look like an idiot.
And there's nothing you can do about it.
No, at that point, I'm pissed at myself. Like, why didn't I try this 10 minutes ago?
It's funny working in IT. I tell people, I mean, I get it. You know, it's dumb, but I would probably prep yourself beforehand because that's when something dumb happens. All right, round next. The other side of the bracket, the loose component, small but mighty annoyances. Rocking the sandal versus itchy tag on the back of your shirt.
Oh, I think I guess I'm going to say it's the tag, because the sandal you can
Quickly easy enough.
remedy.
Right.
Now for me it'd be a Croc, right? And if it's
Rocking the Croc.
If it's in sport mode, it's going to take longer. That's a little more effort to get off there. If it's not in sport mode, it's pretty easy. But I think it's the tag on that.
Right, and that tag is the one where you take it off your shirt, you go grab the tag, you rip it off because you don't have a pair of scissors, and now you have a hole in your damn shirt. Piss you off. But anyway.
It's almost 2026, so there's more and more
It is
t-shirts.
2026.
Great point. That's a great point, Drew. More and more t-shirts don't have the tags, or if they do, they have the like easy rip out version of it. So
Correct.
that's not as big of a problem. I'd say the rock and the sock or Croc or
Rocking the
those
Croc.
all rock.
And you picked the tag.
Well, I guess. I mean, with the ones that they don't have it, but I think if it's...
I just want to make sure because I picked the tag because that's an irritating
Yeah,
bugger.
I feel
You're
the
just like-
remedy of the rock is quicker. If this is you are unable to solve either of these issues, the rock is definitely more of an issue.
Right. All right, boys, and the last one is and we can do these brackets all the time because there's a million of these little annoyances. But for this I just picked 8. The travel nightmare, middle seat on a long, let's just say 4-hour flight with or versus arriving at the gate and realizing you forgot your headphones or pods or whatever. What's worse?
Wow. For an equally 4-hour flight for both, we'll say.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess I would go with the middle seat because depending on your flight, I mean, I can at least play solitaire or some crap on my phone if I got it without the earphones, but
4 hours.
I know, but that middle seat to me. Now, also people got to understand, if you're in the middle, you own both armrests. Because if the people
He's that guy.
if Yeah, if you're on the end, you know you got that lean on the outside. But you own both armrests if you're in that middle seat. And if people don't comply by that, this is game over. That's the answer.
JT.
I'll take middle seat. Having absolutely nothing to do would be the worst. I would take the middle over that anytime. The other thing that's humorous to me is I would say, I don't know, I travel a little bit for work, but occasionally you find these people who are beyond like technology of laptops or cell phones or anything, and they truly just get on the plane and they sit in the seat and they're doing nothing for that entire flight. I mean, I remember back in the day before we had our cell phones and all that stuff, I would at least buy magazines or a book or have something I could read or look at. But there's people that just walk on with their wallet and their keys, and they're like, all right, I guess I'm just going to look at the back of this seat for the next 3 hours.
Yeah, I agree. And middle seat's going to move on for this one. There's nothing worse because as much as you say you own the two armrests, those other two people are on it before I even get there. It was like, here I sit, I'm arms across here, son of a bitch. All right, so it's going to be tough to do the battle of against each other, but just go ahead. I don't care. Pizza, burning, or the update. What do you got?
Update's worse.
Update's worse.
All right. And tag versus middle seat.
Middle seat's worse.
Middle seat's worse.
Boys, we are down to the final.
Update.
Update.
And there it is.
No doubt.
The update wins. I will hold on to the update, and as we do this from time to time, I'll hold on. We'll do a championship annoyance bracket. There you have it, boys. That's all I had for the third intermission.
Well, it was a fun one. We appreciate that. So again, we're wrapping her up here because, boys, it's been swell, but that swelling's gone down. If you want to do a quick recap on our poll names for us.
Our poll names are, hold on, give me a moment. It is Society, The Lobs, Nation, Jason Scarda's Nation, Lobby Syndicate, and Lobby is before all these, Loungers, and the Coalition.
Hugs and kisses to the family. Put your phone down. Stop the doom scrolling. Go to sleep.
Stare at the back of a plane in the middle seat. Don't make a damn difference. You know, whatever you got to do. What do you got?
Hugger, delete them. Good night.
Succinct and to the point. I love it. The Hotel Lobby is produced by Big Bark Sports and executive produced by Chris Kopic and Drew Bressa, and we will catch you next time.
Bye.